So I guess it's the definition of understatement to say that you've probably become aware of a pandemic. An estimated 1 billion people worldwide are affected as you watch this. Yes, vitamin D deficiency is a certified global pandemic of epic proportions.
Vitamin D?
Oh, you thought I was talking of COVID. Well, hold on, because we're going to tie that into D as well. And it's not getting better anytime soon. And I'm going to give you some ideas on what you can do about it for yourself. Quick background. Vitamin D is a really imprecise term. It's really the collective name of two molecules we know of as vitamin D2 and D3. And secondly, they're not truly vitamins at all. They're actually steroid molecules. But be that as it may, D3 is synthesized in the skin in response to sunlight radiation on bare skin, and D2 is actually obtainable only through diet. Neither D2 nor D3 has significant biological activity in the body. Each is converted in the liver and then the kidneys to the active form of D, known as 25-OHD or 25-hydroxyvitamin D. 25-OHD is what the laboratory is checking for concentrations of that in your serum when it's measuring your D level. So vitamin D is supremely important in human health. I think most of us are under the impression that it's the vitamin to prevent osteoporosis, right? I mean, that's what the commercials and the doctors tell us, isn't it? And in fact, it is the major regulator of bone development as it controls the balance of phosphates and calcium and magnesium, which are critical to bone health. And of course, that's happening through our whole lifetimes. You've heard of rickets, the soft bone disease. It was specifically described in the 17th century by physicians, but writings from the 1st and 2nd centuries, dating back to ancient Greece and Rome, described really the same process. So it's been a problem for millennia. But research demonstrates that there are D receptors in virtually every single cell in the body. In other words, it's an almost inconceivably important vitamin in countless metabolic pathways. So there are studies associating D deficiency with heart disease, cancer, stroke, diabetes, Alzheimer's, loss of muscle strength, etc., depression. So you're seeing a little bit of a pattern here? Seems that D deficiency is associated with a lot of chronic degenerative disease, doesn't it? And as for COVID, multiple studies available in the National Library of Medicine connect D deficiency along with the minerals selenium and zinc with increased severity and increased incidence of COVID-19. Who's the most at risk for deficit? Well, at least 50 to up to 90% of your body's vitamin D is formed by direct exposure to sunlight on bare skin, ultraviolet B waves. So too little sun exposure or overuse of sunscreens contributes to a little bit of a deficit of D. Look, we evolved in sunlight. It's normal, natural, and healthy to be in the sun. So get out in the sun and do some exercise and get yourself exposed. Whoa, obviously we can take it too far. Everything in moderation. Also, the elderly, the obese, and those on various medications have difficulty converting to usable vitamin D in the liver and kidneys. Those with malabsorption syndromes and so forth. So basically, the overshot of this is, look, we need to be healthy in an awful lot of ways for the system to work well. Many experts, of course, recommend supplemental D. I tend to prefer staying away from synthetic supplements if we can. Natural form is almost always better. I probably have about 15 different Ds in my office in supplemental form, which as an applied kinesiologist, I like to try to customize to each person's individual physiology. As far as natural source goes and food sources, there are only several really. Egg yolks, livers of certain cold water fish and so forth, some other things, but D is not really found very abundantly in our foods. Interestingly enough, certain specific functional mushrooms are very high in D2. What I do every single day in my diet is a couple of products from this company called Real Mushrooms. I've shown you these before. They're phenomenal functional mushrooms. Why just support the system with D when you can support with D plus an entire range of nutrients that help the body in many ways, immune system and various other enzyme systems and so forth. There are well over 2,000 studies in the National Library of Medicine on functional mushrooms in every area we've touched on today as far as health goes. So I'm going to just drop a link in the description. Check these guys out if you like. You'll learn more about D. I'm not going to go into the specifics of the mushrooms in here. Suffice to say, I use it every day in my practice and in my own supplement regime. But if you've stuck around this long, I'm going to give you one extra bonus immune system tip. We've heard for about a year and a half now from the government, the media, various talking heads about how to handle this COVID epidemic, haven't we? We haven't heard one thing about how to make your immune system healthy, though. We've heard about hiding under our beds in hazmat suits, social distancing, masking, vaccinations, and so forth. But why don't we go about approaching our health in a more natural way, Mother Nature's way? We do not improve our immune systems by hiding from challenges. You don't get stronger by putting yourself in an isolation booth. So get out there, get some sunlight, get some exercise, keep inflammatory stressors out of your diet. That is to say, number one, sugar and gluten and carbohydrates are the killers of our immune systems. We don't want drugs in our systems if we can help it, do we? You can make your own decisions on the vaccine, that's your choice. But if we live our lives in a way that does not stress out our systems and undermine our immune systems, we can live long, healthy, happy lives. That's what this channel is all about. And of course, that's what I aim to try to do myself. So thanks for watching. Subscribe if you like. Give me a thumbs up, all that good YouTube stuff. But until we see you again, yours in vibrant health, Dr. J.